Hello and welcome to the UW-Madison Competitive Sports Broomball Rules. Teams. A game will be played by two teams, each consisting of not more than 4 players plus the goalkeeper. Each team must have at least 4 players, which includes a goalie, present to begin a game. If a team does not have 4 players present within the 10-minute grace period, the game will be declared a default. Player equipment. Absolutely no jewelry may be worn. Players must wear non-marking rubber-soled shoes. The exception to this is in competitive leagues, players may use broomball or curling shoes. All goalies must wear a helmet with a protective face mask. Players may bring their own helmets, but helmets will be provided by intramurals. Players must use intramural sports provided brooms, and teams will wear the color they selected during pre-registration. The game will be played in 2 15-minute halves. The clock will run the entirety of the game except in the last 2 minutes of the second half if the difference in goals is 2 or less. Goalies. Goalies may choose to use a broom or not. Goalies may also leave the crease. Once they do, they lose all goalie privileges, including catching the ball with their hands. They may also wear form-fitting gloves, such as batting gloves or mittens. They must wear a helmet with a face mask. Violations and indirect shots. Indirect shots will occur due to high sticking occurring with no players within a stick length, hand or kick passes, non-goalie hand contact, players playing the ball while not on their feet, or players in the goalie crease. Indirect shots generally will occur in a team's offensive zone. Goals may not be scored directly off of indirect shots. Penalty shots. These will occur when a defensive player other than the goalie stops the ball in the crease or knocks the ball out of the crease with a chance of scoring. Or an offensive player has an obvious breakaway when a defensive player throws anything at the player, including the body or the broom, and makes him or her lose control. Or if a defensive player catches up to the offensive player from behind and plays the body instead of the ball, or if a player throws a stick or helmet in frustration or anger. Ties and mercy rule. Ties will stand except during playoffs. In playoffs, a 5-minute running time sudden death overtime period will be played, followed by a 5-person shootout if necessary. If a team goes ahead by 10 goals at any time, mercy rule will be invoked and the game will be declared over. Mercy rule will also be invoked if a team fails to move the puck in an offensive fashion to avoid mercy rule. If ice time still remains, teams will be divided up and participate in open hockey without officials for the remainder of the allotted time. High sticking. High sticking, the broom of the stick rising above the waist, is not allowed at any point throughout the game. High sticking occurring when there are no other players within a broom length will result in a free shot. High sticking with players within a stick length of the offender will result in a penalty. High sticking penalties will not count towards the 3 minor penalty ejection rule provided no contact is made within the high stick. Penalties. 2-minute minors include body checking, charging, cross-checking, elbowing, grabbing the face mask, high sticking, holding the player and or the player's stick, hooking, interference, roughing, slashing, or tripping. Any accumulation of 3 minors will result in an ejection from the current game as well as the following game. Unsportsmanlike penalties. These will not only leave a team short-handed, but will also factor into the team's sportsmanship rating after the game. Unsportsmanlike calls include, but are not limited to, spitting at an opponent, shooting the ball after the whistle, kicking, throwing, or knocking an opponent's stick away. Misconduct penalties. These include the ejection of the player as well as a 2-minute minor. These include use of obscene, profane, or abusive language towards a teammate, opponent, or official, the use of obscene gestures, or the use of obscene ethnic or racial slurs before, during, or after a game. Disqualifications. These will occur from butt-ending, knee-to-knee contact, checking from behind, spearing, or any action judged by the official or supervisor as an attempt to hurt someone. With that, this concludes the Intramural Sports Broomball Captains Meeting. The Captains Quiz found on IM Leagues must be completed with a score of 80% or higher before a team can be created. And please feel free to contact the IM webmaster at imsports@recsports.wisc.edu with your questions or concerns. Thank you and have a wonderful day.